Hi YouTube, welcome back to another review. Today we're taking a look at the Rambler designed by Jesse Jaross and made by K-Bar Knives. Here you can see it is a skeletonized fixed blade, and it comes with a plastic molded sheath, a little hole right here, kind of an attachment point or a necklace loop if you're going to use it as a neck knife. Here's the knife itself. And I'm going to start off with some of the measurements, kind of go over the specs and features of the knife. Its overall length is 6 inches, blade length of 2.5 inches, and a handle length of 3.5 inches. Blade thickness and handle thickness are the same because it is one solid piece of metal, and it's 0.13 inches. Blade shape is a clip point with a plain edge and a hollow grind. There you can kind of see the hollow grind. Blade material does not say on the blade, but it is a 5CR15, so very cheap, not very great steel. Obviously the same handle material. Hardness is said to be anywhere from 57 to 60 HRC, so kind of a big range there, but if it's 60 HRC, then that's not bad. Total weight is 1.31 ounces. Not exactly sure if that includes the sheath, but I mean that pretty much weighs nothing, so about 1.31 ounces. Now on to kind of the design and the appearance of the knife. You can kind of tell. Very simple. Just kind of a stamped out or cut out knife. Ground down with a hollow grind. Nothing super special about it. Little finger choil spot right here, no jimping or anything all around. Comes with a lanyard hole, and you can see that it is skeletonized, so it lightens up that handle. There is a custom version of this knife from Jesse Jaross called the Turok Mini, Turok, if you want to look it up. And it's pretty much the exact same thing as this knife, except it doesn't have this middle part. I believe the whole thing is skeletonized. And I believe that came after this knife was made by K-Bar because Jesse designed the knife, had K-Bar make it, and then later on he went and had, or decided to make a custom version of it. I'm going to wipe it off real quick. Kind of the smudgy blade was annoying me, but that's pretty much everything to go over for the design. It's very simple, nothing really special about it. You can see the K-Bar logo. See. There we go. K-Bar. Jesse Jaross's logo. Not exactly sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's as good as I can do. And the model number and made in China. So the good things about this knife, it's extremely cheap, about $9 or $10 on Blade HQ. So very good price. It's also very light and available to be neck carried. So with it on a necklace, it kind of hang down like that. It's a little long, 6 inches overall, about 6.5 with that little nub right there, but as long as you're not super short, it shouldn't hang down too low. You can kind of adjust it on your neck if you want to, but I'd suggest not hanging it very low and it'll hit you in the belt or anything, but very light, very carryable for neck carry. The sheath is pretty nice. It fits tightly. So if you are going to carry it neck knife, it's not going to fall out or not going to jiggle out. Kind of hard to pull out sometimes, and it doesn't really have a point where it just locks in. It kind of just squeezes against it and pops in there, so no easy way to get it out really. But seems to do its job okay. Won't fall out of your won't fall off of you if you're carrying it around your neck. Pretty comfortable. 4-finger carry. Like I said, there's no jimping up here, so you're kind of just resting your thumb up there, and you can see my full 4 fingers on there. Very nice. It cuts pretty well. I'm not going to do any cut tests. Well, I'll do one quick one. I've already done that on this piece of paper before, but you can see it cuts. but definitely not very great. Compared to an EDC knife or something you'd really want to use for cutting tasks like cutting paper and stuff, I wouldn't recommend this because that 5CR15 just not very great. Even after cutting a few sheets of paper, you might notice the edge dulling on it. So definitely not the greatest. But if you're going to be using it out in the woods or something, then cutting paper isn't going to matter. Now on to the gripes. What I don't really like about it, there are some very rough edges inside of here. I'll see if I can get some. You can kind of see in that cutout right there. See, you can see it in there also. There, nice and easy to see. So these are very rough. In here, they kind of just look crappy and cheap. And also the edges around this side, I don't know if this was lasered out or water jet or stamped out or what, but these edges on this side really aren't broken down at all, so they're pretty sharp. You can feel them in your palm. You can feel it right here kind of when you're holding it, that it's pretty sharp. The outside edges around here are pretty rounded, but not inside there. Also, the sheath is included with the knife, but even though it's kind of made for net carry, or definitely good for net carry, it doesn't come with any paracord or any ball chain necklace to go with it, so it'd be nice if they included that. I mean, that's not going to add any cost really to the knife, because, I mean, that's a couple cents worth of a necklace or paracord, but they didn't include it, so you're going to have to go out and get your own if you get this. Also, the steel choice. So you've already heard me complain about it. 5CR15, very crappy steel. If they just went up to like 8CR13 or some other cheap Chinese steel that's just a little better, I think it would have been better, and the edge retention would definitely be better. While still being really cheap, probably not adding too much cost to it. I think it's just K-Bar's decision to just choose whatever's cheapest. And for a $10 knife, it's not surprising, but definitely not something great about it. Now onto some comparisons. I will do the overall length comparison with the Para 2 because most people have handled a Para 2. So there you can see skinnier this way than the Para 2, shorter, and blade thickness is pretty close. I think the Spyderco is thicker. But there's kind of your baseline comparison. Also a comparison with the CRKT Beta, designed by Jesper Voxnaes. So held kind of edge to edge. You can see a shorter handle in the Beta, only a 3-finger grip. Kind of has that paracord so you can get a 4th finger on there. Blade is a lot shorter, but a very nice size for net carry. Rounded on all the edges, smoothed out. Probably about double the price, but still only like $20, and fit and finish is definitely better on the CRKT. And I'll compare the sheaths because the CRKT has a very nice sheath. You can see more attachment points on the CRKT. It has a better little retention clip right there that kind of locks into the knife. So you can see it kind of locks over the little edge, and then to get it off, you just pop it a little bit and it pops right off. Very nice sheath. Also has a little hole right there to drain water out, which this has inside there. You can kind of see it a little. But definitely a better overall design, I believe, for a neck knife. And one other quick comparison. If you're thinking 6 inches, damn. There, we're back to normal. If you think 6 inches is a little long for a neck knife, this is the neck knife that I've carried most, probably. I do not carry it anymore because I don't carry a neck knife because I don't think it's illegal, or I don't think it's legal in Ohio, especially without like a concealed carry license. So I don't carry it anymore because I don't think I'm allowed to. But here you can see overall length, pretty close to the same. Blade thickness, I believe, about the same, both about 1/8 of an inch. You can just see longer blade and about the same length of handle because of that little bottle opener right there in the Gavco knife. Also, this is AEBL and it was like $125. This is 5CR15 and it was $10. So very big difference between these two. This would be something you'd probably want to carry like every day, and you definitely could, and it would hold up to it. This is something I'd recommend more for kind of just throwing in a bug out bag, throwing it in your truck's glove box, or just somewhere where you're not going to use it all the time, but you might need it at some point. And that kind of goes with my recommendations and final thoughts on this knife. Definitely a good cheap knife, but not something I'd recommend for every day. So if you're going to go on a little day hike, you're going to use a little drawstring bag or something smaller, and you don't want something heavy. I mean, this really isn't heavy, but it's a little heavier. But rather than carrying a big fixed blade that you probably won't need, if you're just going to go on a little day hike, little drawstring bag, this won't weigh you down. If you want to add it to your backpack, this isn't really going to add any weight to it, so you're not going to be carrying around a big hunk of steel like a big cold steel or something. And it's also cheap enough to where if you do take it camping and you break it or lose it or just ruin the edge or something, it's $10. You can just go buy another one. Not too crazy. Also, if you don't like this design, this Jesse Jarosz design, there are many other K-bars that are about $10. Same steel, same size, just different design. They kind of partnered with a bunch of different designers, and they all have their own little blade shape and handle shape, so a lot of different things to choose from. And I think that's pretty much it. Kind of a long video for such a simple knife, but thought I'd go over everything. And if you liked any of the other knives I showed in this video, you can check them out on my channel. And check out some of the other videos. And that's it. Thanks for watching.